Hey everybody, it's me Blanche and welcome to Feast in the Middle East, and today I'm going to do something a bit more unconventional. I'm going to review Greg Doucette's Anabolic Cookbook. I've never reviewed any cookbook before on my channel, but this one caught my eye because I've been a fan of Greg Doucette for a while on YouTube, and if you don't know who he is, he's a fitness influencer, and he's not just an influencer. I mean, he's won like over 40 bodybuilding shows. And as someone that's really into fitness myself, having taught classes for 7 years, I pay close attention to what he says. And there is his anabolic cookbook. It's in PDF form. And there's this one particular recipe that everybody seems to screw up over and over again. And as a home chef and cookbook author myself, I thought I would perfect his recipe and share it with all of you guys so that you could enjoy this, what he calls apple goop, right here on Feast in the Middle East. Okay, before I start making apple goop, let's talk about Greg Doucette and why I enjoy watching him so much. Is he cracks me up, makes me laugh so hard during these really dark times.
Entire time. Woo! You guys, I feel like I'm holding a barbell right now. This is so cool.
Notice how my elbows, I'm not going the whole way down.
Of your arms. Positioning of your
I really feel it in my triceps. This is not a real workout, folks. You can't sit and look like this girl who's in amazing shape, sitting around with no weight doing this. Grandma Josephine maybe could get a workout doing this. Maybe on her deathbed.
His videos also come in handy when there's like a leaf blower blowing outside or we got construction going on. It's always great to have his voice sort of drown out the background noise that bothers me so much.
Just do yoga. Yeah, let's just do yoga and we'll get ripped. This is amazing. No wonder 5 million morons follow this girl. You don't want to work out. You're freaking lazy.
The reason why I really love Greg's philosophy is that he doesn't believe in giving up the foods that you love. He just believes in altering them a bit so that you can get really, really full and make swaps so that you can eat more of what you love without the calorie damage.
If you eat this kind of food, it's not filling for the calories it gives. It's not lower calorie dense food. It's not gonna help you lose weight, if that is in fact your goal. Not gonna help you look like her. Just because it's low carb doesn't matter.
And lastly, I love his passion. I love it when he gets just all worked up and mad about watching some misleading influencer give us some horrible information on YouTube. He gets really angry and he has to take off his shirt and literally wring the sweat out of his shirt. I mean, how many seriously passionate people do you see in the world these days anymore?
I don't understand. Put your shirt off and then put your shirt back on. It's harder than it looks to put your shirt on, especially when it's a stringer.
The big question, would I recommend Greg Doucette's cookbook? Well, the price is $100 for a PDF. It is not an actual book. He says that he put 400 hours into writing his book, and frankly, I think his book is great for beginners who are getting started in the kitchen, people who are really interested in making anabolic foods, meaning muscle building foods that have a lot of bulk but very few calories, things like protein bars and wraps and smoothies. So they're all inspiring to somebody who's beginning in the kitchen and wants to start making foods that are healthy and filling and taste delicious. You know, compared to my book is $35 for a hardback. It cost me a fortune to print, and I sell it online for $10 if you want the ebook. I would like to say that Greg is a very smart businessman because it did cost me a lot to make this book, and if you buy it through Amazon, Jeff Bezos takes like 90%. So I would say whether you buy my book or his book, it's a great way to support us YouTubers who put thousands of hours into giving you guys free content that we hope you find useful. Now, one of his recipes in the book that people just can't seem to get right is his apple goop, and I was down to take on this challenge. With apple goop, it's a great substitute for apple pie because when you eat apple pie with the crust, it's gonna be about at least 600 to 700 calories. Add some a la mode, it might bring you up close to 1,000 calories. With Greg's version, this dessert will only set you back about 100 calories and it has 5 grams of filling fiber. Can't go wrong with that. So let's start with the apple goop. I'm gonna start with 2 large apples, Make it 3 if you have smaller apples and you want to make sure to peel them. I've seen some people not peel the apples. Who likes to eat apple pie with the skin on the apples? All right, now that we've chopped up the apples into fine cubes, make sure you don't get the little apple seeds in there either. We're gonna add about a teaspoon of cinnamon. He said a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half. I think a teaspoon is good, unless you really like a lot of cinnamon. And all you have to do now is toss it together. I'm not going to use the microwave. I don't like the microwave because it doesn't make food taste good. If you are in a rush, microwave is great, but I don't think it's gonna give us the goopy results that we really want. So I'm just going to put the apples into a saucepan because that's what we home chefs like to do when we have a little more time. So just a saucepan about this size is fine. Now here's where things get confusing for some people. Now I hope Greg doesn't get mad at me because he asks for guar gum in this recipe, which I understand because guar gum is a nice thickening agent. You mix it with the water and you mix it with the apples and it makes what he calls that goop. But I think cornstarch works just as great. It's readily available and it's pretty easy. I have a tablespoon of cornstarch. I'm just gonna add it to 2 cups of water. Cornstarch is very easy to find and super cheap and it'll last you a long time. And you wanna make sure that you stir it in the 2 cups of water until it's finally dissolved because you don't want white lumps in your apple goop, okay? So that's all you have to do. And now I'm gonna add it to the apples. Next, Greg said to add about 6 packets of sweetener. I'm a big fan of this sweetener. It's the Lakanto sugar-free powdered sweetener. I am not getting an endorsement for this. I just really like it because it's powdered like powdered sugar, so it doesn't leave a gritty taste in your mouth and it doesn't have an aftertaste. So I'm just gonna sprinkle it all up in here in my apple soup. And this is what makes Greg's recipe so fun and genius is to add a 1/2 cup of oats. What these oats are gonna do as we cook them is they're going to add some starch and make it thicker. And this is going to be a replacement for the pie crust. So you get nice filling fiber along with the apples. So here we go. I'm just going to heat it up over the stove, wait for it to boil. I know that microwaving is easier, but honestly, this isn't that hard either. You just wait for it to boil, reduce the heat to a simmer, stir it occasionally for probably 20 minutes, I'm guessing, and you're gonna get the same result without this steaming hot, like watery goop in the microwave. See that apple goop is now boiling, so what I'm gonna do is reduce the heat to a low simmer, and I'm gonna keep an eye on it, stirring it occasionally until it gets nice and thick. All right, now this is the consistency you want. You see that? It's like the middle of an apple pie. It's apple goop, it's nice and thick, it smells awesome, and I can't wait to try it. You could eat it hot like this. It's sort of like an apple oatmeal, but heavy on the apple and less on the oatmeal, right? But what I'm going to do is make it anabolic. So I've got my Greek yogurt here, and I really love Greek yogurt because average serving has at least 20 grams of protein. And I'm gonna put this apple goop right over my yogurt, and it will be a nice looking parfait. I mean, it's hot. I think ideally you want to wait for it to cool off, but for the sake of this video, I just can't wait to try it out. Or of course you could use like Halo Top ice cream or some protein ice cream, right? Okay, I'm too anxious to try it. I wish I could let it cool some more, but look at this. This is what it looks like. Look at the apple goop, nice parfait, look at that. And now I'm gonna try it out. At least the yogurt will cool it off, right? Oh, Greg, you know what's up. This tastes like the most decadent apple pie filling. And because of the oats, I kind of feel like I have a pie crust in here too. This is totally genius. I love your idea. Great summertime treat. Thank you so much for the inspiration. Newcomers to the channel, I hope you subscribe and hit the bell button so you can get my latest recipes as soon as I upload them. I try to accommodate all people's dietary preferences from keto to gluten-free to low carb to vegan. but I always keep health foremost in my mind. And the crux of my channel is basically the Mediterranean diet, which has been proven by the Mayo Clinic to be one of the healthiest diets around. So until next time, I'll see you soon.